stage the indefatigable Andre DeShields.
The Spirit is in the room, is it not?
Yes.
Do you feel the Spirit sanctifying this space? Yes?
Yes.
Then let us pray. Lift every voice and sing till heaven ring, ring with the harmony of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling seas. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the presence has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won.
All right, thank you. Thank you for taking us to church.
I had to get that off my heart.
And thank you for doing so. We very much appreciate it. So,
Yes, sir.
you've had an okay career.
But you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yes. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Praise Jesus.
Right.
Okay. Now, I was lucky enough to be in the house for your Tony win this past season. And you mentioned where you were from, and you thanked, as I recall, the town of, what was the name of where you were?
Where I was born?
Where you're born?
Dundalk.
Dundalk.
Yeah.
Okay, and you really gave these inspiring words that it can be done.
Right, absolutely.
And we needed to hear that.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, how did growing up in that town influence your life and who the man you became today?
The first thing you have to understand is I'm from the South. People say, what? Yeah, I'm from the South. Now, what does that mean? The South is defined by those states that exist geographically below the Mason-Dixon line. Some people don't know that the Mason-Dixon line is the southern border of Pennsylvania. So anything south of Pennsylvania is the South. Maryland is the first state below the Mason-Dixon line. It was the state during the Civil War that actually manifested the idea that it was brother fighting brother. Maryland was split right down the middle. I was born in Dundalk. I lived there until I was 4 years old. So truly my formative years when we moved to the big city took place in Baltimore. Baltimore, which is the first Southern capital, I consider the toe of the North and the head of the South. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean when I say I am today, having been informed by being that very unique mixture, right?
North and south.
Outside, part slave, part carpetbagger.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Wow, okay, well thank you for that lesson. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that it was Maryland. Did you guys know that it was Maryland? Okay, I'm an idiot. So,
It's okay if you have 4 Tonys.
well, there's that. Thank you, Jesus. Now, tell us about when you got into theater. How old were you? What captured your attention? What was that?
All right, I have to tell you a brief story, but I want to preface that with the story I'm about to share with you is the truth, nothing but the truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so help me all the Orishas.
All right.
The day I was evicted from my mother's womb. Come on now, wait a minute. I'm from a family of 11 children.
All right.
Everyone was born by natural childbirth with the help of a midwife.
Mm-hmm.
On a piece of newspaper, my mother on her knees, and the baby hitting the floor like a gourd.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Give it to mom.
So that's an eviction.
Yes, sir. Okay.
It's like you have lived your 9 months free rent in here.
You got to go.
You got to go. Make a life for yourself and make me proud.
Amen.
Okay?
Yes. All right.
So, now, from the day that I was evicted from my mother's womb, and this is the blessing. People ask me, Andre, how do you do it? And I respond, I live an anointed life. And they say, what do you mean? And this is my answer. I have never, in my 73 years, doubted that I was on my chosen path. This has to do with the deferred dreams of my mother and my father. When I was old enough to have an adult conversation with my parents, and I asked my mother, why did you have so many children? You couldn't take care of one, why so many? And she said, I couldn't do what I wanted to do. And I said, what was that? She said, I wanted to be a chorus girl. She didn't say dancer, because my parents were born around the turn of the 20th century. I wanted to be a chorus girl. Now, if my parents were born around the turn of the 20th century, my grandparents are born closer to the Emancipation Proclamation. So their response to my mother was, no decent colored girl is gonna shuffle her way through life. We just shuffled our way off the plantation, and that's what you wanna do? No. So she deferred her dream. You see where I'm going?
I do.
Same question I asked my father. He wanted to sing. His parents said, you cannot bring the bacon home to your family with an insecure position as a singer. He deferred his dream. Now we all know that each of us is a result of an X and Y chromosome. So let me repeat. When I was evicted from my mother's womb, the X chromosome was a series of deferred dreams. The Y chromosome was a series of deferred dreams. So my destiny became manifest these deferred dreams. I never questioned what I had to do.
What a blessing.
That's why I say I live an anointed life.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I know this because I was not that fortunate. I walked in the wilderness for about 19 years.
Come on.
And I started out there because the same thing. How you gonna be an actor? How you gonna make some money? You need to go out there and get you a job, computer science.
Right.
So I got me a computer science degree.
Right.
I got me a theater arts degree, and I spent 19 years
Right.
building software, blah, blah. But 19 years later, I entered my MFA program, got my MFA in acting, graduated, and that put me on the path to being the producer I am today.
There you go. Which brings me now. Do you know about? Do you know about the 3 cardinal rules that I shared with everyone when I accepted the Tony? Okay. Now I'm going to lay on you cardinal rule number 4.
Oh, well, y'all listening?
Because you've inspired me to say it.
Oh.
Yeah. Here it is. Number 4. Pursue only the dreams that have your name written on them. Now, why do I say that? Because you said you spent 19 years in the wilderness, right? I haven't spent 19 minutes in the wilderness because the dream had my name imprinted on it from the day I was evicted from my mother's womb, right? All I had to do was surrender to my destiny.
And when you do that, doesn't the universe conspire?
Okay. The universe conspires with you when you surrender to your destiny. Why?
Amen.
Because the universe is made for our pleasure. No matter what anybody else says to you, the universe is made for our pleasure. It's a cornucopia. And all it does is spill abundance. What is our responsibility? Pursue only that abundance that has your name written on it.
Well, the first step, I think, is, number 1, pursue the abundance. Because many of us live in this state of scarcity. And we act as if the resources and the opportunities...
But that's propaganda.
You
know, when they tell you there's not enough.
Right.
Right? Don't believe in the propaganda of inadequacy or insufficiency or you're not worthy or who do you think you are or how can you.
And there'll always be people who want to tell you.
Yeah, I know that. But you have to listen to
a higher power.
Right?
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I hope somebody's recording this because I don't have to listen to this and give it to my children because they need to hear all this. Okay. Tell us about your audition for The Wiz.
Have you been talking to somebody?
I don't know what you're talking about, Willis. I'm just asking the question.
Okay. I enjoy telling this story because it's something that doesn't happen any longer. When I auditioned for The Wiz, it was in the Majestic Theater, where The Wiz opened on January 5th, 1975. And as you know, the show that followed The Wiz into the Majestic, The Phantom of the Opera, is now the longest running show in the history of Broadway. Like 35 years.
Yes.
So we left a good spirit for that.
Clearly.
Right.
Clearly.
But the point I'm simply trying to make is, when I auditioned for The Wiz, it was still done in the theater where the show was intended to perform. Not in a studio with fluorescent lights while the casting director was trying to eat a tuna fish sandwich when you were trying to sing your song, and when you got to the 16th bar, they said, "Oh, next." No. It was in a darkened theater with the ghost light on the stage.
Wow.
With the stage manager, the intended stage manager of the show, saying, "Next we have Mr. DeShields, and he is going to sing such and such."
That's respect.
That's respect. And then there was a hush that came over the house, so you could hear your newly shined shoes click across the stage. Click, 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 click. Now, I was first auditioned for The Scarecrow. I got cut. But that's okay, because Hinton Battle became The Scarecrow.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Then they had me audition for The Tin Man. I got cut. That's cool, because Tiger Haynes was The Tin Man. They had me audition for The Lion.
Are you serious?
I got Black don't lie. They had me audition for The Lion. I got cut. So what else was there to be? And I said to Ken Harper, who was at that time the only black producer on Broadway, I said, "Mr. Harper, would you please let me audition for The Wiz?" He says, no, we're looking for someone closer to Frank Morgan, who played The Wiz in the film, right? So I said, for what I thought was the last time, please. He says, okay, give him a call back, and you'll come back and audition for The Wiz. Okay, now understand, I just come in from Chicago. I'm probably one of the few black men who will stand up and say, I am a hippie. So when I came in from Chicago, I had Jimi Hendrix hair, right? I had 5-inch platforms, right? I wore hot pants. I wore a halter.
Do we have pictures of this?
Yes, we have photographs.
Okay, for later.
I had Maasai earrings in my ears, and that's how I showed up for my audition for The Wizard in The Wiz. And I didn't sing from the American Songbook per se. I sang Midnight Hour.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when your love comes tumbling down. I'm gonna wait till the midnight hour when there's no one else around. I'm gonna kiss you, girl, and hold you, and do all the things I told you in the midnight hour. Wait a minute, I did that because Charlie Smalls, who was sitting in the darkened house, stood up and said, "That's my whiz!"
That is a brilliant. Thank you for that. Wasn't this worth the price of admission to come down here? There's a few people coming down, but you know what? If everybody was mute after this, I'd be okay. I'm afraid we have to move on, but before we do,
not taking up too much time.
No.
Right, okay.
They may say so, but we ain't listening.
Right, okay.
But here's what I want to do, though. I have got this opportunity, and I feel privileged to do so, to present you with an award. And I would get down on my knees if my pants were so tight.
Okay.
But here's what it says. Lifetime Achievement Award presented to Andre DeShields in recognition of his outstanding achievements, vision, and commitment to artistic excellence in the American theater and beyond. We celebrate you, your work, and your legacy.
Last night I had the distinct pleasure and privilege of attending the opening night of Jeremy O. Harris's Slave Play. So, unlike the last poets who said the revolution will not be televised, no, but it'll be produced on Broadway. I was in the midst of the revolution last night. I mention that because I've been talking about deferred dreams, which is what we all are. We are the manifestation of deferred dreams. If we honestly believe that here at the Schomburg is the font of the African diaspora in North America, we are manifesting all the deferred dreams of our ancestors. And because, as part of this continuum, this legacy, I am part of the old school. And last night, I was in the presence of the new school. But there is a linkage, right? There's a common ground. And here is the blessing from the old school. It's by Langston Hughes, you know it. It was written in '54, I do believe. Yeah, because Lorraine Hansberry borrowed it for the title of her play. And the title of the poem, believe it or not, is Harlem. But here we are in Harlem. And it goes like this. What happens to a dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? Or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat? Or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load. Is Jeremy here? No?
He will be.
Is Robert O'Hara here?
He is.
Okay, so I'm saving the last line for that group of young people. Maybe it just sounds like a heavy load. Or does it explode? That's what happens to Dream Deferred. They explode.
That's true.
And they exploded on Broadway last night. I'm glad to be part of this continuum. I'm glad that I'm receiving this Life Achievement Award, but I will repeat what I said earlier. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Amen and hallelujah. Let's praise the Lord, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Andre the Shields, ladies and gentlemen.